Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. Of the 30 to 35,000 decisions we make in a day, many of them impact our health, and we can consciously curate more of those decisions in order to live longer, healthier, and at our happy weight. Most of our decisions aren't conscious, of course. I did a little decision audit today, trying to catch myself every time I made a decision, no matter how small. Here are a few decisions that I made earlier while barely aware that I was doing anything other than waking up, eating breakfast, and then answering some emails. Should I hit snooze? Should I make my coffee first or feed the cats? Should I have breakfast now or later? Should I put a splash of milk in my coffee or have it black? Should I check on my sleeping teenagers or just let them keep sleeping unobserved? Should I go for a walk with my husband and go at his pace or go for a walk by myself at my comfortable, slower pace? And while I was typing my list of decisions, I made even more of them, most completely inconsequential. Should I swing my leg back and forth while typing, while one leg's crossed over the other one under the table? Should I get up and turn off the light because it's a little too bright and I don't really need it? Should I take a sip of water now or not? Is it too late in the day for more coffee or not? Should I stop splashing milk in my coffee sometimes? Is it really adding that much to the taste for me? Maybe I'll stop tomorrow. You get the idea. Once I started writing down everything, I could see how we might get up to 35,000 decisions per day, a number that many sources quote, including an article I read in the Harvard Business Review. Let's break decisions that impact our health into 3 time-related categories, and we'll talk through some examples of how one change can have a tremendous impact. The categories are, number 1, immediate, meaning decisions I make today that only really matter today, but if similar decisions are repeated over time, they can add up. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Category number 2 involves decisions that might impact us over months, like what kind of sneakers I'm going to buy and wear every day. And category number 3 addresses decisions that can change our lives over years or even decades. Today's podcast was getting a bit long, so today we'll just tackle category 1. And next week, we'll go on to talk about categories 2 and 3, which had a few surprises for me. Today, a client of mine, let's call her Victoria, mentioned going to a summer barbecue party and said she was working through her plan for what to eat and what to bring to the potluck in order to avoid going off the rails because she's trying to lose weight. She was assigned to bring dessert. This is mostly a family party, and between Victoria and her cousin, they have 6 kids who are all older teens and young adults. I mention that so you can picture something like 12 or so people, ages 17 to 60, plus 1 grandparent. Victoria told me she decided to bring fresh strawberries, store-bought pound cake, sugar cookies, and a dipping sauce that could be used for all 3 of them. You might be thinking that I have a problem with the fact that there would be cake or cookies at this party. I really don't. I mean, it's a party, and I like dessert as much as anyone, so I would expect there to be a sweet treat for dessert at most parties. No judgment. What I would like to talk about is the decision around what we choose to serve for dessert. Victoria wanted a crowd-pleasing recipe, so she decided to make an old standby for the dipping sauce, one that she had made many times before. The 2 main ingredients are Philadelphia brand cream cheese and marshmallow fluff. Let's pause for a moment to ponder what's in these products. I'm sure it's no surprise that Kraft jet-puffed marshmallow cream, also somewhat known as marshmallow fluff, is made with ingredients like corn syrup, xanthan gum, and artificial flavors. The original marshmallow fluff from the 1920s is also made with corn syrup and artificial flavors. According to the nutrition label, 1 tablespoon of the fluff has 1 teaspoon of added sugar, in addition to the artificial flavors and corn syrup. I'm sure you expected marshmallow fluff to be ultra-processed, but did you know what's inside the whipped Philadelphia brand cream cheese? Let me walk you through the highlights of the ingredient list. In addition to the milk and cream and a few other expected ingredients, it also contains guar gum, xanthan gum, carabine gum, lactic acid, and natamycin, which is a mold inhibitor. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to eat gums and mold inhibitors, especially not in my dessert. This is an opportunity for one of those same-day short-term decisions that we can make without shaming ourselves. Let me tell you, I've made things like this too, so I'm not judging. I used to make a brain-shaped Jell-O dessert, kind of as a joke, but we'd actually eat it. I had a brain mold that looked like an actual brain, and I'd make a mix of peach or watermelon Jell-O, water, evaporated milk, and various drops of red, green, or blue food coloring to make that distinctive gray color that looks like a brain. It was a raging hit in medical school and residency, and I never thought twice about eating this ultra-processed dessert or serving it to my friends. I don't judge myself for doing that, and I implore you, please no judging yourself for earlier choices as you pivot and try a healthier approach. Here are a few things I believe about Victoria's dessert. First of all, dessert at a summer barbecue is fine, and strawberries are a great idea. Also, having either homemade cake or homemade cookies is also fine, because although they'll certainly contain flour and sugar and probably butter and maybe eggs, we can handle those real culinary ingredients as long as we don't have them in excess or too often. And having a sweet dip for the strawberries is fine too. But what can we tweak to reduce our exposure to ultra-processed, also called Nova 4, ingredients that cause metabolic syndrome, diabetes, obesity, and even increase the risk of ADHD, dementia, and mood disorders? None of us need that, right? How about just choosing either cake or cookies rather than both? Or what about making them from scratch rather than buying them? Or what would it be like to offer only fresh fruit with a slightly sweet dipping sauce? I think there are several strong choices here. Instead of that marshmallow fluff and cream cheese dip, how about looking online for a recipe for a very simple yogurt dip using plain Greek or Icelandic yogurt and a bit of honey and vanilla extract? Or Victoria could make homemade whipped cream from simple cream and a bit of sugar. Of course, Victoria would need to read the label because it's increasingly difficult to find plain heavy whipping cream that doesn't have ultra-processed ingredients. Check it out at your local grocery store. I'm sure you'll see it too. The gums, the soy lecithin, and other flavor enhancers, thickeners, and preservatives. It's hard to find plain cream these days. If you decide to make your own sweetened yogurt dip or slightly sweetened homemade whipped cream, don't forget that whether you use honey, pure maple syrup, agave, or actual sugar, it's all still interpreted by the body as a sweet treat, and the pancreas will release insulin in response to that. But we're able to handle a little bit of sugar. That's not a problem. What we're not built to handle is non-nutritive food-like products, a term I've somewhat jokingly created to go hand in hand with the acronym NANA-FLIPS. Non-nutritive food-like products, or NANA-FLIPS, are lining our grocery store shelves. In fact, almost 3/4 of the food we eat contains at least one ultra-processed ingredient. This category of foods, ultra-processed or Nova 4 foods, creating the largely man-made chronic diseases like diabetes, obesity, high cholesterol, heart disease, and cancer that are killing us. So when Victoria suggested making that dip with ultra-processed marshmallow fluff and cream cheese, I not only worried about her health and weight, but I also worried about everyone else at the party. Why are we allowing the food industry to normalize eating chemical-laden cream cheese and other things that are so toxic to our bodies? It's not that 1 or 2 or 5 strawberries dipped in this mixture will kill anyone. Rather, it's that we don't have to go there when there are so many other delicious options that people will enjoy just as much. Why give that to our kids, to our friends and family, to our elderly parents? Why would we eat that? Pardon my hyperbole, but we may as well offer a tray of cigarettes with lighters for dessert because I think that would have a similar impact over time, and I believe scientists as well as future generations will see it the same way. If you wouldn't offer your guests a cigarette for dessert, stop offering them marshmallow fluff. I'll calm myself down with a glass of water while we play a quick word from our sponsor. Just kidding. It's still me, Dr. Lisa Olson, physician and founder of Smart Weight Loss Coaching. Someone recently asked me why she should join the program since she's already listening to the podcast. Here are my top 5 reasons. Number 1, you can meet my cat, the great Catsby, who likes to walk past the camera and interrupt me when I'm trying to be professional. Number 2, we make hard work fun, which occasionally includes talking about Zoom call fashion, which is essentially fashion from the waist up. Number 3, you'll actually learn way more about weight loss, longevity, and the science of our health because we dive deep inside the membership in a way we can't do in these short podcast episodes. Number 4 is that while passive listening is awesome, and I'm glad you're here doing it, nothing compares to engaging. In the membership, you're no longer passively listening, you're actively engaging and taking on challenges to transform your weight with the support of an entire community of like-minded women. And lastly, number 5, you'll love the membership because we're nice and we care about you, your weight, your health, and the way you talk to yourself about your habits. We'll be nice to you and we'll help you be nicer to yourself during your weight loss journey. And we're back. Let's come back to the yogurt dip idea briefly, shall we? How about bringing strawberries and dipping them in the yogurt dip, or maybe in a little bit of melted dark chocolate? If you're a purist, you might think, why not just a bowl of berries? And I don't disagree with that. I'd love to be served a bowl of fresh fruit for dessert at a party. But I'm also a realist for myself and my clients. I like dessert, and most people I know enjoy dessert at a social gathering. But we don't have to give ourselves diabetes just to have a good time at a barbecue. Let me summarize my top 3 points about the marshmallow cream cheese incident. Number 1, we are allowed to have treats. There's nothing wrong with that. It's simply a matter of how much, how often, and what kind of treats. We don't have to eat or serve treats made from ultra-processed ingredients in order to make it a party. Number 2, nothing is wrong with Victoria or with anyone who thinks that marshmallow fluff and cream cheese dip sounds like an awesome thing to bring to a party. I get it. We come from a culture where foods like this are normalized and encouraged. I'm sure people would devour the dip, and that becomes reinforcing. Again, please don't blame or shame yourself for making or eating something that's ultra-processed. We've all done it at some point, and it's not your fault. These foods and food-like products are engineered to be hyper-palatable and hard to resist. For some people, they're even addictive. But now that you're armed with information about the harms of it, you have an opportunity to get creative and find an alternative. Number 3. Recognize that it's these little daily choices that add up to determine if we're going to gain weight, hold steady, or eventually lose weight. Every time you eat, you're making a choice. If you want to lose weight, don't eat marshmallow fluff and Nova 4 cream cheese. And if you're bringing it to a party where you care about the health of the other party guests, see if there's an alternative you can offer that's made with real food ingredients. I don't know about you, but my NBA, my next best action for today, is to come up with some creative summer dessert ideas that are healthy and that I can feel good about sharing since we have a lot of house guests staying with us over the next few months. I know my mother-in-law, my stepmom, and our exchange student are all going to appreciate a home-cooked meal, regardless of whether the dessert contains strawberries dipped in marshmallow fluff or something more simple like a bowl of berries. How about you? What's your MBA for today? Before we leave, I have 2 quick announcements. First of all, please check out our next episode about Skechers and architecture and how those 2 things impact our weight and longevity. It's really a continuation of today's topic. And also, a quick announcement for any of you living in Illinois. I'm bringing on a new physician assistant who is certified by the Obesity Medicine Association and is available to prescribe weight loss medications to new patients. We're scheduling appointments now starting in July 2025. Reach out to us at team@smartweightlosscoaching.com if you'd like to make an appointment before her calendar fills up. Appointments are going fast. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.